There I am, late night crafting for February. And I've got a lot planned for us this month. I hope you will enjoy the things I'm going to share with you. They are going to be fabulous. Thank you so much for joining me. Hello. Thank you for the hearts. And if you have something you'd like for me to share or something you would like for me to try to create, let me know. Get in touch with me. Speak to me on Twitter at Gotta Be Handmade and at Facebook at Gotta Be Handmade. Now let me tell you what we're going to do tonight. Let me turn my telephone around and you'll be able to see what we need for this project. This Super Bowl project is just for my husband and I. And I thought I would share it with you because we do something special every year for the Super Bowl. This year, we have something that we're going to do for the first time. My husband is rooting for one team and I'm rooting for the other team. Now let me tell you what you'll need for this project. You'll need scissors that will cut paper. You will need a pencil. You will need one sheet of this t-shirt transfer paper. You'll need just only one. And this is kind of pricey, but you'll only need one sheet. And this package gives us 10 sheets for other projects. You're also going to need a cap. Now, I got these. I have one for me and one for my husband at the AC Moore. And they are $1. Yep, $1. I got the white one for my husband, and I got the orange one for myself. Now, let me tell you what we're going to do. I used Word to create what I wanted to put on the caps. You take your Word and whatever you'd like to transfer to your cap, you create it in a Word document. Then in your printer, you're going to put one of these sheets. Let me show you what they look like if you've never used these transfer iron-on transfers. On the back, they have a grid like this. That's very helpful for cutting out your design. On the front, it's just white. When you place this sheet in your printer, you turn it upside down like this, and it will print out on the correct side. On my Word, I created this for my husband, and I created the one for Peyton Manning for my cap. Now, my husband is a North Carolina fan. Thank you for the hearts. And he loves Cam Newton. So I was able to find a photograph of Cam Newton. And at the top, just in a simple word, Super Bowl. And at the bottom, 50. This is Super Bowl 50 coming up. Now, when you create your design for your cap, thank you for the hearts, you have to mirror image whatever you put on it. Cam, I mirror imaged so that when I press this down, his arm will be in the opposite direction. I mirror imaged the words Super Bowl. So when I press this down on the cap, it's going to read out correctly. And I also had to mirror image 50. Now what I did was, on the back, I hope you can see the circle. There it is. I used a glass, and I held this up at the television so I could kind of see through it and put my image in the center of this circle. Now let me show you where we are going to put that. That image is going to go in the top portion of this cap, and it's circular. So I wanted an image that would fit here that was also a circle. On Word, I also printed out Cam Newton. Let me show you on my hat what happens when you print this out. When it prints out, it's going to look like this. On the back is your grid, and this is the white side. And as you notice, it can print in color. It's fantastic. This is my cap. My cap is orange because I am rooting for Peyton Manning. This is my crafting iron. Thank you so much for joining me, and thank you for the hearts. This is my little crafting iron, and it fits perfectly in this small area. Now, the directions for the sheets say that you need to have your iron as hot as possible, and you're going to press for 2.5 minutes to get this to be able to adhere to your fabric or whatever you're ironing it on. They are referring to t-shirts. We are going to put it on these caps. And this little iron gets hot, and it presses very, very well. The reason I'm not going to do that part for you is because it takes so long. And I just press, and I move the iron and press. Now, as you see, I'm using my ironing board. They recommend not using your ironing board. They recommend, the directions on the paper recommends that you use a table. They want a hard surface so you can take your iron and really press into your fabric. Thank you for the hearts. Thank you for joining me. But I chose to use my ironing board, and I didn't have any problems. Now let me show you how it will turn out. Once you press this down, you're going to take your iron, allow it time to really get very warm. And I kind of sat it in the circle, and then I moved it, and I moved it, and I moved it. And this is going to get very warm. So be careful in touching it because it's going to be very hot. And because I put the design in a circle, that's why I drew the circle on the back. And this cuts out very easily with just a pair of scissors that you don't mind using on paper. You just cut your design out. Now, sometimes if you're using a large design, like if you were a Carolina Panther fan and you only wanted Cam Newton and you were going to print Cam Newton very large only, then what you would do is cut around Cam Newton so you could capture just him, because you don't want this excess when you get ready to press it onto your fabric. So you discard that, and there's my Cam Newton. And what I will do with my husband's cap, you flatten this out, open up the back, and flatten this as much as possible. Just flatten it out as your iron is heating up. Then you take your design, turn it over so the wrong side of the transfer paper will be facing you. And then you take your hot iron and you're going to iron. You're going to kind of press it down, lift it straight up, and move it over. And let it kind of sit there. I would say until you're able to count to 10 and then lift it and kind of keep doing that. You may want to count to 15 because it really takes time for your design to release from the paper. Once that is done, now I'm going to move my husband's Cam Newton cap over and bring over my Peyton Manning cap. This is the way it will look, just like this. And you will be able, now I haven't lifted this, you'll be able to lift that paper backing and expose your design. There he is. There's Peyton Manning. Let me bring it close to my camera. You see? Super Bowl 50. And that's Peyton Manning. Now, because my cap is not white, my design doesn't show up as clearly as my husband's will. But I love it. And I'm going to spruce it up. Now, also, right here on the brim of my cap, I wanted to put the name, just like I have Cam Newton on my husband's cap. I wanted to put Peyton Manning on my cap. So that's what I did. Now let's see how that turned out. There it is. Let me bring it up close so you can see it. There's the Peyton Manning. I love it. Now you see this bubble on the brim? It's okay. That's only because the caps were $1. When you roll this back around and you finish decorating, you won't even notice that little bubble. It's just where the glue kind of let go when I pressed it with the hot iron. Now, I wanted my cap to stand out a little bit more than my husband's naturally, because naturally my team is going to win. And I took some of this puff fabric paint that we used on other projects, and I put number 1. You see, it hasn't dried all the way, but I have number 1, and that's gonna be glittering on my cap during the Super Bowl. Now, once you get this basic concept of creating your Super Bowl cap, let me close this so you can see it in its entirety. There it is. Once you create your basic Super Bowl cap, now you go and decorate it. I think I'm going to go around Peyton Manning with some gold paint, with some more of this gold paint, all the way around this circle. I think that's what I'm going to do. And I think right around the edge of my brim, I'm going to put some of this gold paint. And when it dries, it's going to sparkle. And when Peyton wins the game, I'm going to be on Facebook showing off my cap. Now look, if you like this project and you do this project, let me know. There I am. Let me know. Send me pictures of your Super Bowl cap. Send me pictures on Twitter at Gotta Be Handmade. Send me pictures on Facebook at Gotta Be Handmade. Now, I'm going to post this video on both of those, on the Twitter page and the Facebook page. And if you would like to share your photographs right there, share them right there. I'd love to see them, and I'd love to see how creative you got with this simple DIY Super Bowl project, because you know we have to root our team on, especially if the team quarterback is Peyton Manning. Yes! Thank you for joining me. My name is Linda with Gotta Be Handmade, and if you have a project you'd like for me to share with you, just let me know. Now, you know I have the late night crafting on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Now, Thursday, I'm going to share with you a fantastic Valentine's Day card that you can give to anybody. And I hope you join me then, because you know, for the best, it's just gotta be handmade. Good night.